Kia ora koutou and welcome to the first episode of Woman Where It Matters. I'm Grace Thomas.
And I'm Natasha Payne, and this is a series where every week we look at a different social issue and focus on the women who are making the change in that particular area.
This week we're focusing on climate change. Now, last Friday, climate strikes were held across Aotearoa with almost 170,000 people turning out in support and calling on the government to take some action against climate change.
So we went down to the Christchurch strike that was held in the Cathedral Square, where 8,000 people turned up, from school students to grandparents to some furry four-legged friends.
And this is what the strikers had to say.
I am here in support of the students, tertiary, high school, all the kinds, to act against climate change, help our government find out that they need to do something.
Well, I want to come and support all the young people because I'm right behind them all.
And being Māori, we've always had a protection for the land and Papatuanuku, so it's really important that I'm here today and to just pass on the messages that my family and my tipuna have had for years.
So you're a student yourself. What do you think of the students that are sacrificing their education to come here and be activists?
It really shows the importance of the situation, I reckon.
Regardless, they're advancing their future, whether they're missing out on a class or not, because if there's no world to live in, then what's the point in education?
Head off to them. I think they're doing a fantastic job, and it reminds me of going back to the 1960s. You know, 1968 was a year when students all around the world took action against the Vietnam War and against, I guess, the awful effects of global capitalism. And now we've got young people here taking the lead, and it's fantastic.
When do you think the government is going to listen?
Hopefully really, really soon, because we need to make a lot of effort.
I think showing how many people are out here wanting it should mean sometime soon, hopefully. With local elections coming up, I think it's the perfect time to bring in some energised and actively outspoken people to come and action some of this change.
The government, I think, is heading in the right direction, but they desperately need people saying, look, we are willing to pay the price. So we really have to start moving. I'll be gone before things really change. He won't, you won't.
This is going to be a turning point. That's how I see it, and I'm very supportive of them all. I think they're wonderful.
Climate justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it? Now!
Now we're joined by Mia Sutherland, who is not only a high school student, but also a climate change activist and one of the organisers of the climate strikes. Mia, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, to start off, you've been an activist for the climate for some time now, despite only being 18. What started you off on this journey?
So I've always been really passionate about the environment, especially I was an animal kid, so especially biodiversity and New Zealand's amazing flora and fauna. I always knew that there was an issue with our climate and that world leaders weren't addressing it, but these strikes gave me a way to mobilise my sense of hopelessness and fear around climate change. So really all my environmentalist passion started from when I was very young, but only recently have I had the power to make a difference on a global level.
And so tell us a bit about your experience organising the school strike for climate. How was that for you?
It is hectic. They don't teach you how to write an event permit in school, I've found. They don't really teach you how to deal with much rejection or intense hate. So it's been a real roller coaster. I've learnt so many really valuable lessons, and I've learnt how to do so much, which I'm really grateful for. I've had amazing mentors and people who have been on my side helping me do all this, which is fantastic, because without them I'd be completely frantic. It is still very busy and hectic, but I find that I can manage balancing that and then my other responsibilities as well.
When you set out organising these strikes, what did you hope that they would achieve?
I hoped that, our government would just pay attention to what was happening and acknowledge it. And in a way they have by allowing the Zero Carbon Bill to pass first reading. That is awesome. but I want it to be stronger. It needs to be better for us because we deserve a better future than what it's looking like now. So at the start, I was just hoping for anything, but now that I know that we've got something, I want more, and we all want more. Politicians everywhere use a lot of words, and they say, yeah, we're addressing this, we so care about this cause, and they'll come and talk to you in person and they'll say, yeah, we really understand and stuff, but they don't. And you can't just take their words, you can't listen to their words, you've got to watch what they're doing.
Do you think part of that is because a lot of you are students, and do you think they take you seriously?
Oh God, no. A lot of them do. A lot of them are amazing and take us very seriously and know that we are more than just kids. And there's nothing wrong with being young. We still deserve to be listened to. But a lot of them use our age against us and sort of think, oh, what do they know? They don't have a job, they don't own a car, they don't do this. When a lot of us actually do.
And how does it make you feel that students are sacrificing their education to become activists instead of just being able to be students and getting on with their schooling?
It's quite sad, actually, that it's reached this level of sacrifice, that we actually have to be leaving school and making that threat. And I know it's a shared feeling among a lot of us nationally that we don't want to organise strikes. We want to be kids, we want to be happy, just living in this world and looking forward to our futures. So, you know, when people say, oh, you're excited to organise the next strike, I'm like, no, I don't want there to be another one. I don't want us to ever have another strike, because it will have mean that they've listened to us and they've done what we want.
Where do you see or hope to see yourself in 5 years' time regarding your work around this issue?
I'd love to see myself relaxing and knowing that the world leaders are taking care of all the issues we've got. No, but really. I'd love to see a world where I'm able to make a difference further on a global level, working with world leaders who have taken on board this crisis that we're facing and are actually making a difference with their power. So I'd love to see a world where I am assisting in some way, not assisting directly world leaders, but making that difference in a positive way rather than demanding it. I'd love to see in 5 years myself being confident in the world and the future that I'm being provided.
Thank you so much for coming in today, Mia. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us for our first episode of Women Where It Matters. We'll see you again next week. Ka kite anō.